Welcome to this Equestrian Vaulting USA video series designed to inspire and educate our vaulting community on the one-star compulsories. This video is about the basic seat. First, we will outline the essence and mechanics of the basic seat, followed by a more in-depth explanation of how to train and coach this compulsory. We will finish with guidance and tips from our kind judges. This video is made possible by the donations from the generous members of Equestrian Vaulting USA. Thank you. The essence and mechanics. The essence of all compulsories is harmony with the horse. The additional essences that are specific to the basic seat are balance, body control, and posture. The basic seat is a static exercise and comprises of 3 biomechanical phases. The first is the build-up phase, which starts from the seat astride. Second is the static phase, starting when the static position is displayed. Third is the build-down phase, which starts upon completion of the static phase. From the seat astride, the vaulter takes the arms out to the side while their head faces forward. The upper body is in a physiologically correct posture, including shoulders, thorax, spine, and pelvis. In the physiological posture of the upper body, the spinal column is stretched upward from the base of the sacrum, with 3 physiological curvatures which are formed along the line of the center of gravity. The ears, shoulders, hip joints, and ankles form a vertical line along the frontal plane. Most of the inside of the legs, including the knees and the middle of the lower leg, are in contact with the pad or the horse. The vaulter establishes a 3-point seat, where 2/3 of the weight is distributed equally on the 2 sitting bones and 1/3 on the thighs. A strong core will hold the upper body in the neutral position while allowing the hips to remain relaxed as they absorb the movement of the horse. The feet are pointed downwards. The arms are stretched to each side along the frontal plane, with the fingertips at eye level. The body is supple and free from any tension other than the muscle action needed to absorb the canter and to maintain the described posture. The vaulter is in a stable, controlled, and supple position. Upon completion of the static phase, the vaulter simultaneously brings their arms down while continuing to fully absorb the canter facing forward. The vaulter takes hold on top of the handles.
Hi everyone, I'm Bianca Harris. I'm Senior 2-Star Vaulter, Certified Personal Trainer, and well on my way to also being a Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist. I love vaulting, I love strength training, and strength training completely changed the way that I live, vault, and feel in my body. I hope it can do the same for you. There are 2 exercises that I think could change your riding seat the most. We want to strengthen not only our core to hold our ribs in position and be able to maintain that as our arms come out, but also our hip flexors, because we have to be able to lengthen our legs down. So the 2 exercises we're going to focus on here are a supine pelvic tilt and a standing glute med raise.
Hey guys, my name is Devin Matozo, and I'd like to share with you some drills and some exercises that I use to teach the basic seat. The basic seat is the primary beginning thing that all vaulters should learn in order to be in harmony with the horse without actually controlling the horse. And so an independent seat, a soft seat, one that's balanced is so important. And so I have Naomi here today to help me teach. First thing I'm going to talk about is just the basic position of the arms and how we can help vaulters learn the correct form when their bodies aren't used to kind of being that defined, okay? So let's just go ahead and put your arms out. I tell the vaulters they're going to put their hands at eyeball level, all right? And so that could be here. Eyeball level can mean a lot of things to different people. So eyeball level, and I will look at what she's doing, and usually I will face the vaulter, okay? And I'll have them mirror image me. Okay, so if I see her hands are a little low, I'll bring my hands low and then go back and correct the problem. Okay, if her hands are a little high, I'll go a little too high, and then I'll bring it back and correct the problem. And so I take the problem she's giving me. So now make a mistake with your wrist being kinked. Okay, this is a common thing, is people kink their wrists a little bit. So I will see that problem, and I will then kink my wrists on purpose, and they will notice they're already doing it, and then I will fix the problem. Okay, so let's say the problem is that their hands are too flat up. Okay, so they'll be following me, their hands will be too flat. I will make my hands flat like them, and then I will have them mirror image me to fix the problem. All right, so the visual learners will do a lot better when you actually show them the mistake without actually verbalizing the mistake. You just have them visually correct it. Okay, another thing, let's have, put your arms out, and I want your shoulders too high, a little bit too high, not too much. Because this is very common, riding seat, shoulders, the socket comes up when they're gonna lift their arms. So I will go there, I will lift my shoulders, and then I'll drop my shoulders and have them copy me. Okay, lift and drop. Lift and drop. Okay, so that's one other exercise. Other thing is just to learn how to get their hands and their wrists flat, is I will have them go into a praying position in front of me, and then bring their fingers up to their eyeballs and drop their shoulders down and elbows in. Okay, so you're copying me like that. You don't have to have your elbows touching, just about straight, because we want to create this straight wrist. Now from there, I'll have them slowly lift their elbows without kinking their wrists. Have them look like that. Okay, now I want this to be flat, so make this like a table talk, right in front of your eyeballs. Yeah, fingers straight, thumbs up against your hands, and then drop your shoulders. Yeah, there you go, and arms out. Okay, so when they define it, hold that position, when they define it like that, it makes it easier for them to know where their arms and their hands are. Okay, and bring your arms down. Good job. Okay, so from a side view, I can show you a couple other drills that I have. A very common mistake in a riding seat is to have the back too arched here. Okay, so what I do is I'll have them actually try to round their back and hunch it to get too far back, and then I'll try to have them arc their back too far forward on purpose, and then I'll say find the middle. Okay, and find the middle means you crunch their stomach. Sometimes I'll take my hand and I'll do a little punching thing right here in their tummy, make sure that they tighten that up. Okay, so arc it too much, round it too much, find the middle. Okay, that's to address this back straightening issue. All right. Another problem we see a lot is we see that the feet are too far forward. Okay, and we need to have the toe, the heel, the hips, the shoulders, and the head on one line. So what I'll do is I will take their body and put it in this position. I say hold your leg against your foot against my arm, and now stretch your leg straight, yeah, and bring it back to my arm. Okay, stretch your leg straight and bring it back to my arm. Okay, and we'll do repetitions like that. Another thing I'll have them do is from this position, I'll have them lift their knee and touch my hand, okay, and bring it back down, and it has to come back to this position. So now lift your knee, and then come back and touch my arm. Yeah, lift your knee one more time, and back and touch my arm and hold it there. Good. Good, so repeating these different small things. You can also, from the side, work on the sickle toe. You can have them bring their foot out and then twist it back in. Bring their foot out and twist it back in, and actually sort of have them touch both sides. Touch this hand, and now touch this hand. Yeah, touch this hand, and touch that hand. Yeah, just to work on those little muscles. All right, and to wrap it up, this is this sort of more advanced exercise, I would say, that I would give to someone in like Naomi's level. And that is a starfish exercise, because people tend to grip too much on the horse, and it creates a stiff riding seat. Even if they're in the correct position generally, it's too stiff. So I want them to really lengthen their legs and stretch their body out in a straight line. Put your arms up. Okay, so what I want her to do is create his arms straight up like that. I want them to create a straight line with their whole body and get their groin against the horse. So they're as low as they possibly can be in their seat. Okay, and then I'm going to still make them tighten their tummy muscles, lengthen their body, and from this position I want them to go into the riding seat position directly. So they're going to bring their pelvis back and bring their feet back into the riding seat. Okay, so arms goes up, arms go up, stretch your body straight, tighten this out still, you're a straight line there, and back down into the seat. Okay, they have to use all the muscles to do that. And then on the movie barrel, gets kind of tricky just to hold that position. Okay, so let's have her try to do the starfish position from here. Okay? Okay, try to balance there. Tummy, tummy tight. Ready, and seat. And stretch one more time. Starfish, hold this tummy in. Tight, straight, straight, straight. Hold it still. Lengthen the leg. And grip and seat. Boom. Good. Now, this has to be contact against my hand. So you have to put your hand here and make sure they're holding it. You want them to grip the horse a little bit without their heels sticking in. Good. All right. Hey, this is Devin. I have another basic seat exercise that I'd like to show you guys. It's really important that the basic seat is independent of the horse. So the position that the vaulter gets into needs to be something that their body gets into without having to squeeze the horse in order to stay there. So this is really good to use a small child to demonstrate this. Put your arms out. Okay, I've worked with her before on this position. She knows it needs to be head, shoulders, hips, heels, toes. And then what you do, you tell them to hold that position without squeezing. I grab them from their armpits and lift them up, and they should show that that exact position remains the same. It shouldn't move out of that position. And we'll do it again from the side. Phoenix, make sure your legs are under your hips, not behind them. Yeah, there you go. Keep them right there. Ready, and lift. Let's stay in that position. Hold it, tummy tight. Put your butt under, and down. So when we see that picture from the video, we can study it and make sure that she knows how to do the basic seat without just squeezing the horse.
In this video, you can see the alignment of the legs. The vaulter is gripping through the top of the leg as well as the calf. The ankle is turned towards the horse. The vaulter focuses on lengthening down through the leg as much as possible. Remember, 1/3 of the weight is on the thighs, while the rest of the leg wraps down and hugs the horse gently. 2/3 of the weight is on the sitting bones. In this view, we will focus on the lengthening of the thighs from the hips. Here you can see the knees too high up, almost touching the handles, and the knees are very bent towards the surcingle. The vaulter needs to lengthen their legs as far down as possible, while then still remaining to keep 2/3 of their weight on their sitting bones. The vaulter then fixes their seat from too far forward to rotating back onto their sitting bones. This rocking forward of the pelvis is exaggerated in this exercise here as the vaulter performs it incorrectly, and then here correctly as the seat remains neutral while the vaulter circles their arms. This is a great exercise for developing body control and awareness while developing the proper seat. As a coach, remember that it's important to take different views of your vaulters. For example, here you can see as the vaulter exaggeratedly sits their seat to the outside. You may not be able to see this as clearly from the side view. Here, although it is exaggerated, it is very clear when the vaulter is not directly centered over the horse. You can also see this showing up with the arms. Again, there it is shown in an exaggerated way, but you can see it in more subtle ways too, from the back view as well as from the front view here. Notice how the vaulter adjusts their arms, remembering that the fingertips should be at eye height. In this next session, you will watch as Shayna coaches her vaulter using a prop. You can use anything that is a straight line, such as a broom, stick, or pole that you have out at the barn.
In FBI, they're looking for alignment from your head to your shoulder, to your hip, to your ankle. So they're going to have you pull your shoulder blades back a little bit more. Good, but then still rotating back on the hips. Now open your shoulders. Posture. Good. Now pull your head up and back this way. Here, this way. Chin down, up through the back of your head. Good. Yes, that's better. Okay, and then we can check with the stick if you have a straight line through your ankle, hip, shoulder, head. Looks good. So then you can go out into her seat. So go ahead and go into your riding seat. Very nice. And then a little bit more closer. Good. And then I usually just check their hands. To make sure that they are engaged, so the fingers aren't coming apart, and then tuck your thumb in. Yes. Good. And then I can still see that her alignment is good. Let me check your. You're a little bit pitched forwards, back on your seat bones a little more.
The focus of the sitting L exercise is for the vaulter to keep both sit bones on the horse as their shoulders turn, alternating to the outside and the inside, creating a capital letter L with their arms. In this video, you can see the vaulter first incorrectly lifting their hip and then correctly turning while the hip remains neutral. Again, incorrectly, the hip lifts, and correctly, the hip remains as the vaulter's shoulders turn. The next progression is practicing this exercise at the walk as the coach watches to make sure that the legs remain long and down. The next progression is to practice this exercise at the trot. A lot of vaulters will try to pull their knees up towards the surcingle to help them with stability. The point of this exercise is to teach them how to stretch down for stability. After the L's, the vaulter can perform a series of arm circles. As they move their arms, the coach continues to watch the seat, making sure that the neutral position and the legs remain in the correct posture and alignment. The vaulter can then do head isolations looking up, down, and side to side, all while everything in the seat remains the same. The vaulter can finish this exercise by extending the arms out to the side. Now we will show you a series of live example sessions from a practice so that you can get an idea of what this exercise might look like within a vaulting session. As a coach, use this as an opportunity to take note of the way that Shayna here coaches her vaulters through this exercise.
Okay, sit back even more. You're leaning forward, so I want you to lean back with your shoulders even too. Yes. Now bend your knees a little bit so your feet are underneath your hips. Yep, good. Okay, and keep doing your L's. Very nice. Can you lengthen your legs down a little bit? Yes. Good. And go ahead and do your circles. Pull your feet back. Don't let your feet sneak forward. Okay. Now when you pull your feet back, don't let that push your shoulders forward. Okay, and keep doing your circles. Good. That one was much better because you were ready for that balance check, so then it didn't check you that time. Good. Okay, hands on your tummy and do your eyes. Keep squeezing with your down leg. Good. Okay, and then show me a normal riding seat, but fix the bottom of your seat first. Okay, shoulders down. Good. Okay, go back to your tummy, and I want you to put your hands out and have tight fingers and pick one spot. So go out slowly and pick one spot once you get there. And slow. Good. And now stick it right there. Much better. That was much more confident. Good job. Your feet are just a tiny bit forward. Okay, now arms are a little bit too far forward too. That's better. Good job. Okay, and go ahead and come off. Good job. Okay, and L's.
Good boy. Oh, good boy.
Good job. Squeeze with your ankles.
Yes, now. Good boy.
And tummy. Don't grab the surcingle in between, Ella. Use your body to adjust. And L. And to your tummy. Now think about those little adjustments. Back to your tummy. And L to the inside. Better. Okay, now back to your tummy. Don't grab the surcingle. Lengthen down. Point your toes. Good adjustment. And go for your circles. Nice. Good fight. Hug your pony with your down leg and try and keep your legs in the same spot. And circle.
Good boy, mister.
Good. Your down legs are moving, so just pick one spot and keep them there. Good. And hands on your tummy. Now eyes up, down, side to side.
Good boy.
Down leg. Hug with your ankles. Good. Now normal seat.
Good boy, mister, now.
Okay, sit back on go back to your tummy. Fix your down leg. Sit on your pockets. Tight tummy, lean back, and now go for your seat. But don't let your down leg move when you go for your seat.
Good
That's
boy.
better. Good job. Good.
Hi, my name is Alejandra Orozco. I'm an AVA judge as well as a Mexican judge and an international judge. I'm going to give you a few tips or comments on what we normally see as judges when we see each compulsory in a competition. For riding seat, what we want to see, as in every exercise with vaulting, is we want harmony with the horse. So especially in riding seat, that's the main thing we focus on, is we want to see you moving with your horse. So making sure both your sit bones remain on the horse at all times. So the whole 4 counts, whether it's a walk or trot or canter. Making sure you're not bouncing up and down. So we don't want to see you do this. We want to see you sitting through the whole exercise, and that's already an excellent starting point.